I first processed the kick drum with the Waves Pultec EQ, boosting 2.5 decibels at 20 Hz and cutting 10 decibels at 20 kHz. Notice how this places the kick drum below the snare and the rest of the drum kit, expanding the sound vertically. On the Wave CLA mix hub, I have a low-cut filter engaged at 20 Hz to clean up the bottom end and get rid of any unnecessary sub-frequencies. Then, I am boosting 3 decibels at 60 Hz with a low frequency set to a bell curve and cutting 3.3 decibels at 200 Hz with a medium Q. Notice how this focuses the sound of the kick drum and places the kick forward within the context of the entire drum kit. On the snare, I start by cutting 3.5 decibels at 300 Hz on the Waves MEQ5 equalizer. Let's listen to the effect of this plugin on the snare drum with a drum VCA soloed. Next, on the Wave CLA mix hub, I have high and low pass filters engaged at 50 Hz and at 4.8 kHz. Additionally, I am boosting 3.3 decibels at 376 Hz on a low shelf and cutting 3 decibels at 600 Hz. Then, I have a high shelf boosting 4.6 decibels at 1.5 kHz. This places the snare drum between the kick and the ride and tucks the snare into the mix. All of the tom close mics were processed with the Waves API equalizers. All of the API EQs had the filter switch engaged. That applies a 50 Hz to a 15 kHz bandpass filter to the entire signal. The high rec tom had a 4 decibel bell curve cut at 5 kHz, and the rest of the tom mics that include another rec tom at 2 floor toms had a 4 decibel cut at 200 Hz with a low frequency set to a bell curve. Notice how the processing tucks the toms into the mix by removing low-mid boxiness and taming the harsh highs. Additionally, automated trim plugins were used as gates to remove any unwanted rumble from the tom mics.